What's going on, everybody? Jacob Snow here, welcoming you to another Dragon Ridge Reviews. On today's episode, we will be reviewing the Disney Star Wars Paz Vizsla Mandalorian Soldier action figure pack, rated for ages 4 and up. Descendant of the esteemed House Vizsla, brawny warrior Paz is protected by the strongest Beskar armor, is what this little bit here says. And then translates it into a bunch of languages. You've got the little diagrams on the back that show you how you're supposed to attach all of the accessories. This is the first one of this new line of figures that I have acquired. I'm not sure how cool he's going to be, just based on the fact this is a Disney Hasbro figure, and Hasbro figures aren't what they were when I was younger. We're going to have to crack him open to see for sure, but I'm fairly certain he's got extremely limited articulation, and I'm not sure how he'll do on holding things other than the accessories that were intended for him. Just to count for the video, we're going to pause it real quick, get everything opened up and out of the plastic, and then we'll get the next one going. And welcome back. Okay, so first off, my fears have been confirmed. The articulation is rough. It is not strong with this one. Most Hasbro figures that released like post 2016, I would like to think that were in the more affordable price range, feature 5 points of articulation, one arm, one leg, and head. Which, like, unto itself, as they're intended for ages 4 and up, I can understand mechanically not wanting to introduce a lot of points of failure. But in the same token, for enthusiasts, especially older ones such as myself who remember what Hasbro used to be like, this is kind of rough. As far as the sculpt goes, it's not the least detailed that I've seen. Certainly better than, say, the Marvel Retro line. I'll have to review one of those for camera, but my personal experience with them, not great. Not bad detail. You can see the point of connection for one of the accessories, point of connection for the other accessory. His hands seem to be slightly flexible, which means they would be able to hold, say, let me just root through the pile real quick. So say this little action figure gun from one of the Walmart sets. He can hold it. So, yeah, he's got the nice little laser gun. Regarding accessories, we have a jetpack. Not sure why it's bright yellow, but it do be jetpacking. That just pushes into the back like so. Et voila, he's now equipped with his jetpack. The figure stands a lot easier than, say, the Kenner Tusken Raider, but that's one of the benefits that comes from the fewer points of articulation is it's less posable, which means it's more difficult to get into a position where it's not balanced properly. Point of contention time. This, I think, is supposed to be like a stand-in for his minigun from the show Mandalorian. Lord have mercy, this is a chunky boy. It's almost ridiculously large, especially like it was big in the show, sure, but it was not this big. Like this man's weapon is, as you can see, almost as tall as he is. I'm not sure. So he's supposed to hold it like this. It's got this extra handle here, which might be for like carrying it like that, which is closer to how it was carried in the show. But on the package, he's shown carrying it like that, like an over-the-shoulder kind of gig. Not how it was in the show. That's fine. Like, you're not expecting one-to-one replication of show events with an action figure. So he holds this like so. And it has a launching projectile, which those are always fun. Pop that in. You really have to push that compared to like a lot of other projectile toys. It's got to be pushed. It gets pretty respectable distance, but it's nothing to write home about. This is his little wrist flamethrower, which love those. Such a cool thing. It just slots into the wrist right here like so. Theoretically. Oh my god. Okay. Oof, that took some pushing to get in. But there we go. He's got his nice flamethrower now. He's got his jetpack. Now, how does he stand with that? He stands fine with it, not extended. With it extended, also stands fine. So for this particular figure, the Paz Vizsla, the limited points of articulation actually really work toward what they want him to be, which is an accessory figure. You know, he's got his flamethrower. You're wanting to, like, if you're younger and wanting to stand him up with the flamethrower out, you know, that works. It's functional, as it should be, especially given its intended age range. The coloration of this jetpack is gonna bother me. I'm probably gonna have to look up after this video what color it actually was, but I understand, again, for the intended audience, it's supposed to be brightly colored, so that way if like you're taking it off during a play session, which not the easiest thing in the world to do, you're not just gonna lose it, especially if you got like gray carpet or whatever. So now we get into the nitty-gritty details. As far as like the figure himself goes, I can give him like a 3.5 just because I struggle to enjoy less articulated figures. They're not as posable. They just seem kind of stiff, especially if you're trying to set up a diorama or something with them. They're always in the same pose. So make of that what you will. It's not a problem for everybody, but it's a little gripe that I have. The problem that we come into is, I believe his price point was $11. So from our last review, $17 gets you 16 points of articulation and high quality sculpt. Colors are realistic to the show, what have you. $11, so you're saving between $5-6, just depending on tax rates and everything like that. You're getting 5 points of articulation, an absurd jetpack. But of the figures, I legitimately just have to set him down and he's standing up, whereas, as we saw last time with the Tusken Raider, it does take a little bit of work to get her to stand up. She's still standing because of, I made sure to get her in a posture where she could just be stood up, but it took me a minute to get it there. So, with the Disney Star Wars Paz Vizsla figure, if I was like getting it for a kid, I wouldn't feel bad doing it, especially since, in The Mandalorian, he's one of the cooler characters they tended to feature. Bang for your buck is pretty good. Is it worth the price of admission? I'd feel a little more comfortable if it was along the $8 range instead of like the $10 to $12 range, just because it's only 5 points of articulation and it's not highly intricate with details. It's predominantly the same color palette across, just with some accents. So is it worth the price of admission? Kind of. I complained about, now to be fair, I did complain about the same thing in the opposite direction with the Kenner Tusken Warrior. So I do seem a little difficult to please on bang for your buck. I would say this is more worth my money than the Kenner figure was, just because like it is what it is, and you only have to shave off $2 to make him worthy, whereas you have to like add additional features or subtract to make her around this price range to get the Kenner figure to play nice. So 3.5 out of 5 stars, kind of worth it for your money. All in all, not a bad figure, but kind of limited in utility. If you're wanting to use him like for custom fodder or something, you're probably going to struggle with that a bit. But all in all, as like a gift for a kid, or just you really like Paz Vizsla, he's a good pick. That's all we've got for today. So until next we meet, this has been Dragon Root Reviews. Jacob Snow signing out. May your journey continue.